Hey everybody, this is Cool Matt and Fact, and we're here to do the post-game press conference.
All right. The first question is just very broad and general. Like, what do you guys feel like went wrong today? Like, what happened?
I feel like Boston prepped for us really well, and they kind of just outplayed us in every category. We going into this match, we were really spread thin this week between London and Boston in terms of just pure scrim time and prep, because we had our Texas tour, we had the Today Show thing, and so like we had 1 day of scrims with our main roster prior to the London game, and so yesterday we won as well. So we had about 2 days going into it. I think our prep was inefficient. Probably could have used our time that we had, which was limited, a little bit more efficiently. But not taking anything away from Boston, they played really well.
Yeah, from my perspective, it's like Boston played very well and we played pretty disjointedly just due to lack of prep and play time.
Do you feel like the challenges were strictly due to like lack of preparation, or do you think it was like was there any like mental games or mental problems with the team?
I think that lack of preparation was a part of it, but I would never use that entirely as an excuse, right? So I wouldn't be like, oh, we lost only because we couldn't scrim. Not being able to scrim as much as we wanted to definitely contributed to us losing, but we could have played better. We could have played better individually. We could have tried to work together more on the fly. I think we made some mistakes by playing some comps that we haven't practiced that much, because like we're kind of a team that thrives in random chaotic stuff, and so we like to bring out weird comps. And they're also kind of inconsistent because they're weird, and because we haven't practiced them that much, they don't always work. And so you'll see us play like random Junkrats and Hanzo and stuff like that. So
I feel like we got inside our own heads a bit.
Yeah,
I
think towards the end, like we were starting to get a little worried. The first map we didn't expect to win Anubis. We didn't. It's their best map and one of our worst. Then Nambani, like I feel like we made some major like mistakes that we would not have normally made. Like we would not have tried to contest first like we did, and that honestly cost us second. There's like a period there on first where if you decide to contest it, and you fail, it's gonna ruin your entirety of second, because second is like so short and it becomes a one-fight scenario so quickly. So I think that like we got into our heads and we got really antsy, because we were so, I guess we we're kind of like intimidated by the fact that they were playing so well and that we're really confident in ourselves.
How do you deal with a Boston dive where their starting point is so scattered?
Dealing with dive is really just about like proper prep for the dive, which is you want to, I like to assume this role myself, you want to watch flanks and you want to deal any damage you can before they can dive. Like they need to dive at full health, or else that like really puts the dive into your favor. So you want to kind of bully aside. You saw me doing that on Anubis a lot on first. Like you want to hit the Genji a bit, hit the Tracer as much as you can, force some cooldowns, focus the Monkey, and that will actually ruin the tempo of their dive. And if you can do that successfully, consistently, that'll actually prevent dives better than just absorbing it. So the key really is to be aware of where they are. If you know where a Tracer's coming from, it makes it 10 times easier to deal with them. Constantly checking flanks, bullying those flanks as much as you can.
It's all about good scouting and just stopping them before they can get in. Exactly what Matt said.
All right, the next question is, do you guys ever think Overwatch will come to a point where the game is balanced and nerfs and buffs won't be needed anymore?
Absolutely not. Nerfs and buffs are crucial to like just the longevity of the game, because it makes the game more interesting. You can't have, if the game was at a state where it's like, okay, never gonna change again, then it'd be really boring, to be honest. Like you'd just be playing that same exact thing forever. And it seems like the metas kind of are very similar. Dive's been around forever, but there's always been micro changes here and there, new maps and stuff like that. That has changed it. And like ultimate perfect balance, I don't think is achievable.
I don't think an Overwatch meta can ever be figured out to a point where no more balance changes would be required. There's too many interlocking elements, because it's a 6v6 team game, where it can't be static like it can be in other games. There's just too many variables.
All right, the next one is for Mumma, but since he can't be here, maybe you guys might be able to answer for him. Why does Mumma prefer to play more of an independent style of Winston instead of a more regular dive along with your Tracer style?
Mumma has a pretty unique style that actually works really well when teams let him do it. So he's very gifted mechanically. He probably is like the best Primal Rager in the league. He has some of the best stats as Primal Rage, and he relies on his individual mechanics a lot, because when everything works out, you'll see Mumma like kill feed Mumma, right? And so that's like, he likes to chase that stuff. He's like kind of a risky player, and he's good enough that it pays off a lot of the times.
A lot of teams are playing Sambar a lot, but not really getting any value out of her, and she seems to be on the losing end very often. Is this just teams trying to test waters on the new meta?
I think that Sambar is still developing. She's very strong. very strong. It's going to take time for people to really figure out where she shines and like how to play her effectively. I think once some couple weeks pass, you're going to see her a lot more. I mean, that's my initial impressions, right? I mean, I could be wrong. Like I said, the metas generally tend to develop very organically and over time. Right now, I feel like Sambar is strong and just going to be like more time for people figure it out fully.
Yeah, I don't think anyone in Overwatch League has really maximized her potential yet. No one's remotely close. And so what a lot of things you can do is like look at what the contenders teams are doing, and they're getting close, but contenders teams lack the mechanical skill for the most part to really maximize it. So going into Overwatch League, it'll be interesting to see in the coming weeks what OWL teams will do with the Sombra that the contenders teams are not doing.
All right, the next one is, what's the biggest change you will make moving forward after this match against Boston? And nothing but love and support for you guys.
I mean, the biggest change we're going to make is we're going to have more time to practice. Like we're going to prep better. There's going to also, as the stage goes on, it becomes a little bit easier to prep for a team because there's more footage on them, right? So our next matches will have more footage on them. We'll have more play time.
I feel like I should have said something. Oh well.
Doesn't matter.
Whatever.
I'm pulling a Jake right now.
You really are.
All right, the last one is, when there's a map that you guys as a team feel weaker on, do you spend time practicing that as much in scrims, or do you focus on the maps that you're weaker at?
I don't think we really prioritize maps that we're weaker on in scrims per se, but coming into match prep, we definitely take a good hard look at it from the film perspective and from like VOD review perspectives. Like we spend easily hours talking about maps that we're weak on in team chats the day before the match, and I think that's really helps us coming into matches.
Yeah, we tend to address our weaknesses like out of scrims just by looking through VODs and having discussions. You might see us like failing on Anubis really hard, but like that's a map that we try to prep for and we try to think about our issues and try to work them out. And if it doesn't work all the time, like our Anubis is still developing. It's very poor, not a secret, but we have actually tried to prep for that map a lot, and I think that just going forward, it's the most effective way to do it, honestly. Like maybe it was a little misguided so far, but we're going to keep that same mentality up, and we're going to get better at those maps because of it.
It's an iterative process.
Exactly.
And then I guess just the last one, in general, what are you guys kind of like thinking about now moving forward for your matches next week?
Moving forward is just all about the future. It's all about improving. It's about having results in the next match. Like you can't change the past. You can't be a downer about it. There's no time to whine about it. There's no time in Overwatch League to cry about a loss and mope and be down on yourself. Like there's only time to look to the future and improve and do what you can to win the next match. Because if we go on to win the next match and the next one and the next one, it invalidates everything that happened up until that point. So for us and as a team, like we're focusing only on what's coming next.
Thanks for watching, everyone. This is another Houston Outlaws post-match press conference.